Let me start today's class with a very honest question. How many of you have a big collection of Cambridge practice books sitting on your desk right now? Maybe Cambridge 12, Cambridge 14, Cambridge 16, Cambridge 18. You open the book with full motivation. You say to yourself, "Today I will finally master IELTS reading." Then you start the test. 20 minutes later, you are staring at passage 3 like it is written in alien language. Let me tell you something honestly. That strategy rarely works, because practicing Cambridge books without a method is like going to the gym lifting random weights for 10 minutes and expecting six-pack abs next week. It's not going to happen. But here is the good news. Over the years, many of my students improved their reading scores dramatically using one simple Cambridge practice method.
The Cambridge practice method.
Wow, my score jumped to 9.0.
It's the best way to prepare.
Yay, thank you.
Some students moved from band 6 to band 7.5. Some even reached band 8 in reading. All right, let's begin. The biggest Cambridge practice mistake. Before I teach you the SMART method, I want to show you the most common mistake students make. Many students practice Cambridge books like this. Step 1, start a full reading test. Step 2, finish in 60 minutes. Step 3, check answers. Step 4, feel sad. Step 5, close the book dramatically and repeat the same process tomorrow. Now, tell me honestly, have you ever done this? If yes, comment, "I did this." Don't worry, almost every IELTS student has done this at least once. The problem is this: you are testing yourself again and again, but you are not training your reading skills. Testing and training are different. Testing shows your score. Training improves your score. Cambridge books should be used for training, not just testing. And that is exactly what we will learn today. The SMART Cambridge practice method. The SMART practice method has 3 steps. Very simple. Step 1, slow practice. Step 2, deep analysis. Step 3, skill training. If you follow these 3 steps correctly, Cambridge books become extremely powerful. But if you skip step 2, which most students do, improvement becomes very slow. So today, we will practice together. Step 1, slow practice, not exam practice. Now, this might surprise you. When you first practice Cambridge books, do not start with a full-timed test. Yes, you heard that correctly. Many students panic when they hear this. They say, "But teacher, the real exam is timed." That is true, but imagine learning to drive a car. Would you start by driving on the highway at 120 kilometers per hour on your first day? Of course not. First, you learn control. Then you increase speed. IELTS reading works the same way. So today, we will practice one passage slowly and carefully. Example practice. Let's imagine we open Cambridge IELTS practice book and start passage 1. The first paragraph says something like, "Many scientists believe that urban green spaces play an important role in improving the mental health of city residents." Now, before answering questions, I want students to do something important. Read the paragraph slowly and ask yourself, what is the main idea here? Not every word, just the idea. The idea here is, green spaces help people's mental health. Simple. Now here's a question. Which one do you usually do while practicing reading? A, try to understand every word. B, try to understand the main idea. Comment A or B. If you answered A, congratulations. You are practicing exactly like 90% of IELTS students. And that is also why many students feel reading is difficult. IELTS reading does not require understanding every word. It requires understanding structure and meaning. Let me tell you something funny that happens in many classes. A student reads a sentence like this: "The ecological consequences of deforestation have been widely studied," and the student stops immediately because of one word, ecological. The student opens the dictionary, searches the meaning, writes the meaning, reads again, then stops again because of another word. Now, after 5 minutes, the student has read one sentence. At this speed, finishing the reading test will take approximately 3 working days. Not ideal. Instead, the smart reader thinks like this: ecological. Okay, maybe related to environment. Good enough. Move on. IELTS reading rewards understanding ideas, not memorizing dictionaries. Step 2, deep analysis. Now, this is the step most students skip, and skipping this step is like going to the gym and skipping leg day. It feels fine at first, but the results will show later. After finishing the passage, do not immediately close the book. Instead, analyze every mistake. Let's imagine a question.
Question example. The passage says, urban parks provide an opportunity for physical activity and social interaction. The question says, city parks help people improve their physical health. True, false, not given. Now, many students answer false, but the correct answer is true. Why? Because physical activity is related to physical health. This is called paraphrasing. IELTS reading tests your ability to recognize different words with similar meaning. Now I want you to comment something honestly. When you check answers, do you A. just see the correct answer, B. carefully analyze why your answer was wrong? If your answer is A, that is the reason improvement is slow. Real progress happens during analysis, not testing. Step 3. Skill training. Now, after analyzing mistakes, we train specific skills. IELTS reading mainly tests 3 skills: scanning, skimming, paraphrasing. Let's practice one. Paraphrasing practice. Passage sentence. Many young professionals relocate to metropolitan areas for better employment opportunities. Question sentence. Young workers move to large cities to find better jobs. Same meaning, different words. Metropolitan areas equals large cities. Employment opportunities equals better jobs. Recognizing this connection is the key to improving reading scores. And guess what? Cambridge books are the best resource for learning this skill, because the exam questions are written by the same organization that designs the real IELTS test. Now I want to ask you something. When you practice Cambridge reading, which one do you usually do? 1. Timed test only. 2. Timed test plus analysis. 3. Slow practice plus analysis plus skill training. Comment 1, 2, or 3. If your answer is 1, don't worry. That is exactly what most students do. But starting today, you know a better method. Let me share something funny. Sometimes students say, "Teacher, I finished 10 Cambridge books," and I ask them, "How many did you analyze?" They say, "None." That is like watching 100 cooking videos and still burning instant noodles. Practice without analysis rarely works. The SMART Cambridge daily routine. Now, imagine you open a Cambridge book. What should you actually do? Many students think they must complete 3 passages every day, but that is not always smart, because improvement comes from quality practice, not just quantity. So here's the routine I usually recommend. Step 1. 1 passage practice. Instead of doing the full test every day, start with 1 passage only. Yes, just 1. I know some students are thinking, "Teacher, only 1 passage? That sounds too easy." But wait, this is not lazy practice. This is deep practice. You will do 3 things with that passage. Stage 1. Untimed reading. First, read the passage without time pressure. Your goal is not speed. Your goal is understanding. Ask yourself questions like, what is the main topic? What is the purpose of each paragraph? Where is the author giving examples? This step trains your reading awareness. Now, here's a question for you. When you read passages during practice, do you focus more on A, understanding ideas, or B, finding answers quickly? Comment A or B. Most students focus on B, but strong readers focus on A first, then speed comes later. Stage 2. Answer the questions. Now, you answer the questions, but here's an important rule. Do not guess immediately. Many students do this funny thing. They read the question, they look at the passage, then they say, I feel the answer is B. IELTS reading is not astrology. You cannot rely on feelings. You must find evidence in the text. Every correct answer has a clear sentence in the passage. If you cannot find the sentence, the answer is probably wrong. Let me tell you something funny that happens in many classes. A student answers a question. I ask, "Why did you choose this answer?" The student says, "Teacher, intuition." My response is always the same. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, the IELTS examiner does not check intuition. They check evidence. So always find the supporting sentence. Stage 3. Check the answers slowly. Now, this comes the most powerful step. Checking answers slowly. Many students check answers like this. Look at answer key. Oh, wrong. Next question. Oh, wrong again. Very fast, very painful, but very useless. Instead, when you check answers, ask 3 questions. 1. Why is the correct answer correct? 2. Why was my answer wrong? 3. Which words in the passage helped find the answer? This step trains your brain to recognize IELTS patterns, and once you start seeing those patterns, reading becomes much easier.
Now I want to test you. Passage sentence. Many students prefer online courses because they offer flexibility. Question: online courses are popular only because they are cheap. True, false, not given. Think carefully. Then comment your answer. The correct answer is false because the reason in the passage is flexibility, not price. Exercises like this help train your brain to detect logical differences. The Passage 3 problem. Now let's talk about something every IELTS student fears. Passage 3. Passage 1 is usually friendly. Passage 2 is slightly difficult. Passage 3 sometimes feels like reading a PhD thesis written by a tired professor. Long paragraphs, complex vocabulary, confusing ideas. Students reach Passage 3 and suddenly think, maybe guessing is a good strategy. But here is a small secret. Passage 3 is difficult for everyone. Even students who score Band 8 feel challenged. The difference is that strong students stay calm. Weak students panic. So here is a simple rule. When you reach Passage 3, do not try to understand everything. Focus only on finding the answer location. Remember, the answers usually follow the same order as the passage. This rule alone can save many minutes during the test. The 3-minute rescue strategy. Sometimes you get stuck on a question. You read the paragraph, you read it again, still confused. At this moment, many students do something dangerous. They spend 5 minutes on one question. That is a disaster in a 60-minute exam. Instead, follow the 3-minute rule. If you cannot find the answer within 3 minutes, skip the question. Move forward, return later. Often, when you return, your brain sees the answer quickly. This simple strategy protects your time management. The Cambridge Gold Mine. Here is something many students don't realize. Cambridge books are not just practice tests. They're actually a training library. Inside those books, you can learn vocabulary patterns, paraphrasing techniques, question structures, academic writing styles. If you analyze them carefully, they become extremely powerful resources for preparing for the IELTS exam. But remember the key word, analyze. Just finishing tests is not enough. The weekly practice plan. Now let me give you a simple weekly plan. Monday, passage practice plus deep analysis. Tuesday, paraphrasing practice. Wednesday, passage practice. Thursday, vocabulary review. Friday, full reading test. Saturday, mistake analysis. Sunday, rest. Your brain needs recovery. Consistency is more important than intensity. Practicing a little every day is better than studying 10 hours once a week. After teaching IELTS students for years, I've learned something important. Students who improve the most are not always the smartest. They're simply the ones who practice strategically and consistently. If you practice Cambridge books with the method we discussed today, your reading skills will gradually become faster and stronger. And eventually, the passages that once looked impossible will start feeling manageable. Before you leave, I want to ask you one final question. Which part of IELTS reading is hardest for you? 1. Vocabulary. 2. Time management. 3. Difficult passages. 4. True, false, not given questions. Comment 1, 2, 3, or 4. Your answers will help decide the next lesson. And remember, many students who are now achieving Band 7.5 and Band 8 in reading once struggled with the same problems. The difference is that they learned how to practice correctly. So keep practicing, stay patient, and treat every Cambridge passage like a training session, not just a test.